Commander Tae-ho Kim stood on the bridge of the UEN's Resilience, watching the stars through the large window. The ship was huge, painted white with red crosses on its sides. Everyone in the galaxy knew what those symbols meant. Help was coming, the Tao. Resilience was Earth's best rescue ship. It had medical rooms, food storage, and sleeping areas for thousands of people. When people were in trouble anywhere in space, Earth sent ships like this one. "Commander," called Communications Officer Young-Soo Bae from his station. "We have a message coming in. It sounds urgent." Tae-ho walked over to the communication station. Young-Soo's face looked worried as he put the message on the main screen. Static filled the air, then a voice came through, scared and desperate. "This is Kepler Colony calling anyone who can hear us. We are under attack. The Vorthak Empire has surrounded our planet. They came 3 days ago with many warships. Our defense systems are down. We have 50,000 people here, including children and families. Please, if anyone can hear this, we need help. We are hiding in underground shelters, but they are bombing the surface. Food and medical supplies are running low. Please help us." The message repeated several times, then went silent. The bridge was quiet. Everyone looked at Commander Tae-ho. "How far is Kepler Colony?" Tae-ho asked. 2 days' travel through hyperspace, answered Navigation Officer Boram Lee. "It's in the outer rim, near Vorthak space." Dr. Yoon-B Park, the Chief Medical Officer, stepped forward. She was a small woman with kind eyes, but her face showed worry. "Commander, 50,000 people. That includes the mining families who moved there last year. There are at least 5,000 children." Tae-ho nodded. He had read about Kepler Colony. It was a peaceful mining settlement. The people there had no military training. They were just families, trying to make a living by mining rare metals. "Sir," said Young-Soo, "I'm getting reports from other ships in the area. No one else heard the distress call. We might be the only rescue ship close enough to help." Engineer Daewon Shin looked up from his station. "Commander, the Resilience can carry 8,000 people if we pack them tight. We'll need the escort ships to take more." Tae-ho thought about their small fleet. Besides the Resilience, they had the destroyer Guardian commanded by Captain Min-ho Lee and the medical ship Sanctuary. Together, they could save maybe 15,000 people in one trip. But 50,000 was too many. "We'll have to make multiple trips," Tae-ho said, "or call for more ships." Lieutenant Jiwoo Nam, who watched for enemy ships, spoke up. "Sir, there's something else. The Vorthak Empire claimed that system last month. Officially, they say any ship entering their space is an enemy." Everyone knew about the Vorthak. They were tall, gray-skinned aliens who loved war. They had sharp teeth and red eyes. Their empire was built on conquering other planets and making slaves of the people they captured. Most species in the galaxy were afraid of them. Dr. Yoon-B checked her medical reports. "Commander, I've been reading about Vorthak attacks. They don't just kill people, they take prisoners and sell them as slaves. The children, especially." She didn't finish the sentence. Everyone understood. Tae-ho activated his communicator. "Get me Admiral Soo-jin Choi on Earth." While they waited for the connection, pilot Hee-jin Ko joined them on the bridge. She was young but skilled at flying the big transport ships that would carry the refugees. "Commander, my transport crews are ready. We can start loading people as soon as we arrive." The main screen lit up with Admiral Soo-jin Choi's face. She was an older woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Behind her, Tae-ho could see the Earth Defense Command Center. "Admiral," Tae-ho said, "we received a distress call from Kepler Colony. 50,000 civilians under Vorthak attack." Admiral Soo-jin's face became serious. "Commander, I've been following the situation. The Galactic Council sent a message to Earth 1 hour ago. They warned us not to enter Vorthak space. They say it would cause a diplomatic problem." "Admiral, there are children down there." "I know, Commander. That's why I'm giving you permission to proceed with the rescue mission." Some of the bridge crew looked surprised. "Going into Vorthak space could start a war," Admiral Soo-jin continued. "The Galactic Council thinks we should negotiate with the Vorthak first. They want to offer them trading deals in exchange for the colonists. But negotiations take weeks. Those people don't have weeks." She paused, looking directly at Tae-ho through the screen. "Commander, Earth has never abandoned people in need. We won't start now, but I want you to understand. This mission is dangerous. The Vorthak might see your rescue ships as an invasion. We understand, Admiral. Good. I'm sending Captain Minho Lee's destroyer Guardian with you for protection. Also, make sure all your ships show the rescue symbols clearly. Record everything. If the Vorthak attack a rescue mission, the galaxy needs to see it. Dr. Yunbi stepped forward. Admiral, what about medical supplies? If they've been under attack for 3 days, they'll need everything. Doctor, I'm authorizing you to take whatever you need from the emergency supplies. Load the sanctuary with medical equipment and extra doctors. Young-Soo raised his hand. Admiral, should we tell other Earth ships about this mission? No, Admiral Soo-jin said firmly. This information stays classified until the mission is complete. I don't want the Vorthak to know we're coming. Surprise is your best protection. Engineer Daewon checked his screens. Admiral, the Resilience is ready for hyperspace travel. All systems are working perfectly. Excellent. Commander Taeho, you have full authority for this rescue mission. Save as many people as you can. But if the situation becomes too dangerous, retreat immediately. We can't help anyone if we lose our rescue ships. The connection ended. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Lieutenant Jiwoo broke the silence. Commander, I've been thinking about the Vorthak tactics. They usually attack fast and hard. If they've been bombing for 3 days, why haven't they finished the job? Taeho considered this. Maybe they want prisoners alive. Dead slaves are worth nothing. Dr. Yunbi looked sick. That makes it worse. They're probably taking people already. Then we need to move fast, Taeho said. He turned to the navigation officer. Boram, set course for Kepler Colony. Maximum speed. Yes, sir. Course set. Young-Soo, send a message to Captain Minho on the Guardian. Tell him we're leaving in 1 hour. Message sent, Commander. Taeho looked around at his crew. These people had volunteered for rescue work because they wanted to help others. They knew the dangers, but they came anyway. Earth's rescue crews were famous throughout the galaxy for their courage and kindness. Everyone listen, Taeho said. This mission is more dangerous than usual. The Vorthak are not like pirates or natural disasters. They are trained killers. But 50,000 innocent people are counting on us. We are their only hope. He paused. If anyone wants to transfer to another ship, now is the time. No shame in staying safe. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Dr. Yunbi smiled. Commander, we didn't join Earth's rescue service to stay safe. We joined to save lives. The others nodded. Pilot Hyejin stepped forward. Sir, my transport crews are ready to fly into hell if that's what it takes. Engineer Daewon grinned. The Resilience has never failed a rescue mission. We're not starting now. Taeho felt proud of his crew. This was why Earth was respected throughout the galaxy. When people were in trouble, humans came to help. It didn't matter if they were human or alien, rich or poor, friend or stranger. All right then, Taeho said. Let's go save some lives. The Resilience turned toward deep space, followed by the Guardian and Sanctuary. Soon, all 3 ships jumped into hyperspace, racing toward Kepler Colony and 50,000 people who needed their help. None of them knew they were flying into a trap. 2 days after leaving Earth space, the rescue fleet dropped out of hyperspace near Kepler Colony. Commander Taeho Kim stood on the bridge of the Resilience, looking at the planet through the main window. What he saw made his heart sink. The Mei planet's surface was covered in smoke and fire. Large craters marked where bombs had fallen. The cities that once housed 50,000 people were now burning ruins. Commander, said Lieutenant Jiwoo Nam from her sensor station, I'm detecting life signs underground. The colonists are still alive in the shelter systems. Dr. Yunbi Park rushed to her station. How many life signs? About 42,000 people, scattered across 12 underground shelters. They're deep, probably the old mining tunnels. Taeho felt relief. Most of the colonists had survived. Any sign of Vorthak ground forces? Negative, sir. The surface is clear of enemy troops. But Commander... Jiwoo paused, checking her sensors again. There are no Vorthak ships in orbit either. Engineer Daewon Shin looked up from his controls. That's strange. If they were attacking for 3 days, where are their ships now? Captain Minho Lee's voice came through the communicator from the destroyer Guardian. Commander Taeho, this feels wrong. Why would the Vorthak bomb a planet and then leave? Taeho had the same bad feeling. In all his years of rescue work, he had learned to trust his instincts. Something was not right here. Maybe they got what they wanted and left, suggested pilot Hijinko. Pirates sometimes do that. Quick raid, then run away. Dr. Yunbi shook her head. The Vorthak aren't pirates. They're an empire. They don't run away from anything. Communications. Officer Young-Soo Bae suddenly spoke up. Commander, I'm getting a weak signal from the surface. Someone is trying to talk to us. Put it through. The main screen showed a man with a dirty face and torn clothes. Behind him, Taeho could see frightened. Families huddled in what looked like a cave. Thank God, the man said, his voice breaking. Are you the rescue ships we've been waiting and hoping? I'm Mayor Jin-Soo Park of Kepler Colony. Mayor Park, this is Commander Taeho Kim of the Earth Rescue Fleet. We're here to help. What's your situation? We have 42,000 people. In the underground shelters. Many are injured. We're running out of food and water. The Vorthak ships bombed us for 2 days straight, then disappeared yesterday. Where did they go? We don't know. They just left. But Commander, we're scared they'll come back. Please, can you get us out of here? Taeho looked around his bridge. His crew was already preparing for the rescue operation. Mayor Park, we're going to save everyone. Start gathering people at the main shelter entrances. We'll begin evacuation immediately. The screen went dark. Taeho turned to his crew. All right, everyone knows the plan. Hyojin, take your transport ships down to the surface, load as many people as possible. Day 1, coordinate with the sanctuary to set up medical stations. We need to work fast. Yes, sir, everyone responded. Dr. Yunbi was already preparing her medical teams. Commander, from what I saw on that transmission, many people will need medical care. Malnutrition, injuries from the bombing, trauma. We should set up triage areas as soon as we land. Pilot Hyejin checked her flight plans. Sir, I can take my 3 big transports down first. Each one can carry about 800 people if we pack them tight. That's 2,400 people in the first trip. Do it, Taeho ordered. As the transport ships launched toward the planet's surface, Lieutenant Jiwoo continued scanning space around them. Something was bothering her, but she couldn't figure out what. Commander, she said, I keep getting strange readings from behind the planet's moon. It might be nothing, but... Check it again, Taeho said. His bad feeling was getting stronger. On the surface, pilot Hyejin landed her transport near the main shelter entrance. Hundreds of colonists were already waiting. Families with children, elderly people, injured miners. Everyone looked scared and tired. Don't worry, Hyejin told them over her ship's speakers. You're safe now. Earth doesn't abandon people in need. The loading went quickly. The colonists were so grateful to see the rescue ships that many were crying. Parents held their children close as they climbed aboard the transports. Mayor Jin-Soo Park helped organize the evacuation. Commander Kim, he radioed to the Resilience, I can't thank you enough. We thought we were going to die here. Just get your people ready, Mayor. We'll have everyone off the planet in a few hours. But up in space, Lieutenant Jiwoo's sensors were showing something that made her blood turn cold. Commander, she said, her voice tight with fear. I'm detecting massive energy signatures coming from behind the moon. Multiple ships, very large. Taeho rushed to her station. How many ships? At least 20, sir. And they're moving fast, coming around the moon toward us. Captain Minho's voice crackled over the radio from the Guardian. Commander, my sensors show the same thing. Those are Vorthak warships, big ones. The truth hit Taeho like a physical blow. It's a trap. They used the distress call as bait. Young-Soo's face went pale. Sir, they knew we would come. They knew Earth always responds to rescue calls. Dr. Yunbi looked up from her medical preparations. Commander, what do? We have people on the surface. Before Taeho could answer, the Vorthak fleet came into view. 20 massive warships, dark gray and covered in weapon ports. At the front was the largest ship Taeho had ever seen, a Vorthak battlecruiser. Young-Soo's communication board lit up with an incoming message. A face appeared on the screen, tall, gray-skinned, with red eyes and sharp teeth. This was War Commander Thexvor of the Vorthak Empire. "Human rescue ships," the alien said, his voice full of cruel amusement. "How predictable you are. We heard about your reputation for saving strangers, so soft, so weak." "This is Commander Taeho Kim," Taeho replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "We are on a humanitarian rescue mission. These people are civilians." Thexvor laughed, a horrible sound. "Civilians make the best slaves, human. Your species is famous for caring about such things. That is why you walked into our trap so easily. The Galactic Council will hear about this. Attacking rescue ships is a war crime. The Galactic Council is far away, human, and soon you will be dead." The communication ended. Immediately, the Vorthak ships opened fire. The first shots hit the Guardian. Captain Minho's destroyer tried to fight back, but it was outnumbered 20-1. Explosions lit up space as the small Earthship fought desperately to protect the rescue vessels. "All ships, emergency maneuvers," Taeho shouted into his communicator. "Heejin, get those transports off the surface now." On the planet, pilot Hyejin saw the battle beginning in space above. Her first transport was fully loaded with 800 colonists, mostly women and children. "Hold on, everyone," she called to her passengers as she lifted off. "We're getting out of here." But as her transport climbed toward space, Vorthak fighters came screaming down from orbit. Their weapons lit up the sky. "Transport 1 taking heavy fire," Hyejin radioed. "I've got 800 people aboard." Lieutenant Jiwoo watched in horror as the Vorthak fighters attacked the transport. "Commander, they're targeting the civilian ships. They're shooting at unarmed transports." The Guardian was fighting hard, but it was taking too much damage. Captain Minho's voice came over the radio, full of static. "Commander Taeho, we can't hold them much longer. Get the civilians out and tell Earth what happened here." A massive explosion lit up space. The Guardian was gone, taking Captain Minho and all 400 crew members with it. Dr. Yunbi screamed. Many of those crew members had been her friends. "Young-Soo," Taeho ordered, his voice hard with rage and grief, "start recording everything. The galaxy needs to see this." "Already recording, sir." On the surface, Hyejin's transport was hit by enemy fire. The ship spun out of control, crashing back to the planet's surface. 800 colonists died in the crash, including 300 children. "Transport 1 is down," Jiwoo reported, tears in her eyes. "No survivors." The Resilience shook as Vorthak weapons hit its shields. Warning lights flashed red across the bridge. "Shields at 60%, Engineer Daewon reported. "We can't take much more of this." Taeho faced the hardest decision of his life. Stay and fight, and lose everyone. Retreat and abandon thousands of people on the surface. "All remaining transports, emergency evacuation," he ordered. "Load as many people as you can in 60 seconds, then get to space." 2 more transports managed to launch from the surface, carrying about 1,500 colonists between them. But that left over 40,000 people still trapped in the underground shelters. "Commander," Dr. Yunbi said quietly, "we can't leave them. We can't save them if we're dead," Taeho replied, his heart breaking. "Young-Soo, make sure Earth gets this recording. The galaxy needs to know what the Vorthak did here." The Resilience and the medical ship Sanctuary turned away from the planet, their engines at full power. Behind them, the Vorthak ships continued, bombing the surface, sealing the underground shelters forever. As they jumped into hyperspace, Taeho looked back at Kepler Colony one last time. Smoke and fire covered the planet where 40,000 innocent people had just been murdered or taken as slaves. The rescue mission had become a massacre, and it was all being broadcast to Earth. The emergency session of the United Earth Government was called at 3 in the morning. President Nara Song stood before the packed assembly hall, her face pale but her eyes burning with controlled anger. Behind her, the main screen showed The horrible footage from Kepler Colony. Members of the Assembly. President Song began, her voice steady but cold. 6 hours ago, our rescue fleet was attacked while trying to save civilian lives. What you are about to see will change everything. The lights dimmed. The recording from Communications Officer Young-Soo Bae began to play. The Assembly watched in shocked silence as Vorthak warships opened fire on clearly marked rescue vessels. They saw the Guardian explode, taking 400 brave souls with it. They watched pilot Hyejin Ko's transport, full of women and children, get shot down by enemy fighters, but the worst part came at the end. War Commander Thexfor appeared on screen, laughing as he explained how he had used human compassion as a weapon against them. "We knew you would come," the alien commander said in the recording. "You humans are so predictable, so weak. You care more about saving strangers than protecting yourselves." When the footage ended, the assembly hall was dead silent. Then, slowly, every single member stood up. The silence stretched for long minutes. President Nara Song looked out at the representatives of Earth's 6 billion people. "They attacked our healers," she said, her voice now shaking with rage. "They murdered our rescuers. They used our kindness as a trap to kill our children." She paused, letting her words sink in. "They have awakened something in humanity that this galaxy has never seen before." In the back of the hall, General Kyung-ho Park was already making calls on his secure communicator. Defense contractors, military shipyards, weapons manufacturers. Everyone who had been quietly building Earth's hidden military strength for decades. Most species in the galaxy only knew about Earth's rescue ships and exploration vessels. They thought humans were peaceful by nature, not by choice. They were about to learn the difference. Meanwhile, at Earth Defense Command, Admiral Hyun Seo Lim was opening files marked with the highest security classification. Project Deep Strike had been a secret for 20 years. While Earth sent out rescue ships and medical vessels, they had also been building the most advanced military fleet in the galaxy. Director Kim, Admiral Lim called to Director Jae Sung. "Kim of Earth's Strategic Command. Activate all Deep Strike assets, full mobilization." "How many ships, Admiral?" "All of them. Across Earth's solar system, hidden military bases began to wake up. On the dark side of the moon, massive shipyards opened their doors. In the asteroid belt, weapon manufacturing plants went to full production. Near Jupiter, training facilities that had been preparing for this day began launching their deadliest graduates. The galaxy was about to meet the real human military. Back at Earth's main hospital, Dr. Yoon B. Park sat in a medical review room with officials from the Galactic Council. She was one of only 1,200 survivors from the rescue fleet. Her hand still shook when she talked about what happened. "Dr. Park," said Ambassador Veltar of the Centauri Alliance, "we understand this was a tragedy, but surely military escalation is not the answer. The Galactic Council can negotiate with the Vorthak Empire." Dr. Yoonbi looked up at the tall, blue-skinned diplomat. "Ambassador, did you watch the recording?" "Yes, of course. Did you see them shooting at the medical ship Sanctuary? Did you see them target the transport full of children?" "Doctor, war is always horrible, but this wasn't war," Dr. Yoonbi interrupted, her voice getting stronger. "This was murder. They used our compassion to set a trap. They laughed while they killed innocents." She stood up, facing all the alien diplomats in the room. "For 50 years, Earth has sent rescue ships to save your people. We've pulled Centauri survivors from burning space stations. We've evacuated Corvani colonies from plague worlds. We've rescued Talani children from pirate attacks. We never asked for payment, we never asked for favors, we just helped because it was right." The room was quiet. "And now, when someone attacks us for being helpful, you want us to negotiate?" Ambassador Veltar shifted uncomfortably. "Doctor, we simply believe that more violence will not solve this problem." Dr. Yoonbi smiled, but it was not a kind smile. "Ambassador, you don't understand humans very well. We are peaceful because we choose to be. But when someone hurts innocent people, when they attack those who try to help others, we stop being peaceful. At that moment, Intelligence Officer Wu Jin-han burst into the room. "Dr. Park, we need you to see this immediately." He activated a wall screen showing intercepted Vorthak communications. The translation scrolled across the bottom. "Slave auction successful," the message read. 40,000 human colonists sold to various buyers across the empire. Highest prices paid for, the young ones. War Commander Thexvor commended for successful trap operation. More human rescue ships expected. Prepare additional ambush sites. Dr. Yunbi's face went white. "They're selling the colonists as slaves and planning to attack more rescue missions," Wu Jin added. The alien diplomats looked sick. Even they understood what this meant. Ambassador Veltar spoke quietly. "Doctor, the Galactic Council will formally condemn these actions." "Condemn?" Dr. Yunbi laughed bitterly. "Ambassador, humans don't condemn. We act." 3 days later, President Narasong addressed not just Earth but the entire galaxy. The message was broadcast on every communication channel, in every language. "People of the galaxy," she began, "for 50 years Earth has been your helper in times of need. We have saved millions of lives without asking for anything in return. We believed that showing kindness and compassion would make the galaxy a better place." The camera showed her standing in front of a memorial wall listing the names of everyone who died at Kepler Colony. 3 days ago, the Vorthak Empire used that kindness against us. They set a trap, knowing we would come to help. Innocent people, they murdered our rescuers, they shot down ships full of children, they turned 40,000 civilians into slaves. Her voice grew harder. "The Vorthak leadership believes humans are weak because we choose to help others. They think compassion is weakness. They are wrong." Behind her, the screen showed images of massive warships emerging from hidden bases throughout Earth's solar system. Earth is mobilizing for war, not for conquest, not for territory, but for justice. The Vorthak Empire will learn that there is a difference between being peaceful and being weak. She paused, looking directly into the camera. "To every species watching this broadcast, Earth's rescue missions will continue. We will not let fear stop us from helping those in need. But from now on, anyone who attacks our rescue ships, anyone who murders our healers, anyone who targets innocent civilians will face the full military might of Earth." The broadcast showed fleet after fleet of human warships, sleek, powerful vessels that no one in the galaxy had ever seen before. "To the Vorthak Empire specifically, you have 40,000 human civilians as slaves. You have 72 hours to return them unharmed. If you do not, we will come and take them back, and we will make sure you never threaten innocent people again." The broadcast ended with a simple message in every galactic language. Earth remembers. Across the galaxy, alien governments watched in shock. The humans they thought they knew, the helpful, peaceful rescuers, were revealing weapons and ships that looked more advanced than anything the major military powers possessed. On the Corvani homeworld, Prime Minister Zexara called an emergency session. "The humans saved our colony ships twice in the last decade," she told her council. "If they're going to war with the Vorthak, we stand with them." The Talani Federation quickly followed. "Earth rescued our children from pirates 3 years ago," declared Chancellor Mordak. "We owe them our support." But most species were too afraid to choose sides. The Vorthak Empire was powerful and cruel. If Earth lost this war, the Vorthak would remember who helped them. In the deep reaches of Vorthak space, War Commander Thexvor received the human ultimatum with amusement. 72 hours? He laughed to his officers. "The humans think they can threaten us?" His intelligence officer looked worried. "Sir, our spies report massive fleet movements in Earth space, ships we've never seen before." "Probably more rescue vessels painted gray," Thexvor sneered. "Humans don't know how to fight real wars. When they arrive, we'll destroy them like we did their pathetic rescue fleet." But deep down, something bothered him about the footage his spies had sent. Those human warships looked different, dangerous, built for one purpose only: war. The 72 hours passed quickly. The Vorthak Empire did not return the human slaves. At exactly 72 hours and 1 minute after the ultimatum expired, the largest human military fleet in history jumped into hyperspace heading for Vorthak territory. Humanity had tried peace. Now they would try war. 6 months after the attack on Kepler Colony, the largest human military fleet ever assembled dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Vorthak territory. 200 warships moved in perfect formation, led by the massive dreadnought Retribution. Fleet. Admiral Donghyun Kang stood on the bridge of the Retribution, watching the enemy territory ahead. Behind him, Captain So Young Lim coordinated with the other ship commanders. This was not a rescue mission. This was war. "Admiral," reported Tactical Officer Sang Min. "Oh, sensors show 3 Vorthak patrol ships ahead. They've detected us." "Let them run," Admiral Kang said calmly. "I want their leaders to know we're coming." The Vorthak patrol ships turned and fled toward their home system. They had never seen human warships like these. The Earth vessels were sleek and fast, covered in weapon ports that glowed with deadly energy. Meanwhile, on the human command ship, Intelligence Coordinator Minji Seo was tracking every Vorthak military base in the system. For 6 months, Earth's spies had been gathering information about Vorthak defenses, ship locations, and most importantly, where the human prisoners were being held. "Admiral," Minji reported, "we've located 17 slave camps across the Vorthak Empire. Our people are being held in terrible conditions, but most are still alive." Admiral Kang's jaw tightened. "How many?" 38,000 survivors from Kepler Colony. They're scattered across different planets to make rescue harder. Boarding. Specialist Jin Yoon stepped forward. "Admiral, my teams are ready. We've trained for 6 months on Vorthak ship designs and base layouts. We can get our people out." "Good. But first we send a message." The human fleet moved into Vorthak space like a storm. They didn't sneak or hide. They wanted every Vorthak to see them coming. The first Vorthak base they encountered was a military outpost on the planet Korthval. It had 50 warships and was supposed to be impossible to attack. Admiral Kang opened communications to the base commander. "Vorthak forces, this is Fleet Admiral Donghyun Kang of Earth. You attacked our rescue ships. You murdered our people. You took civilians as slaves. Surrender now and you will be treated according to galactic law." The response came quickly from Base Commander Thokmas. "Human fools, you dare enter Vorthak space. We will destroy you like we destroyed your pathetic rescue fleet." Admiral Kang closed the communication. "Tactical, show them what human warships can do." The battle lasted exactly 18 minutes. Human ships moved faster than anything the Vorthak had ever seen. Their weapons hit harder and their shields were stronger. But most importantly, they fought with a coordination that terrified the enemy. Tactical, Officer Sangmin. O directed the attack with cold precision. "Target their weapon systems first. We want prisoners, not corpses." The human fleet split into smaller groups surrounding the Vorthak ships. Every movement was planned. Every shot was calculated. This wasn't just military training. This was controlled fury. Commander Tae-ho Kim, now recovered from his injuries and commanding a strike group, personally led the attack on the ships that had survivors from the original ambush. He remembered every face of the crew members who had died. He fought for them. "Strike Group 7, target the battlecruiser," Tae-ho ordered. "That's the ship that killed Captain Min-ho Lee." His ships moved like hunting wolves, hitting the enemy cruiser from all sides. The Vorthak ship tried to fight back, but human technology was simply better. Within minutes, the battlecruiser was crippled. Boarding specialist Jin Yoon led her teams onto the enemy ship. "Admiral," she reported over the radio, "we've secured the bridge, finding evidence of war crimes. And Admiral, we found some of our people." On the captured Vorthak ship, Jin's teams discovered 12 human prisoners who had been taken during the ambush. They were thin and scared, but alive. "You're safe now," Jin told them as her medics provided care. "Earth doesn't abandon its people." Back on the Retribution, Admiral Kang received reports from across the battlefield. Every Vorthak ship had been captured or destroyed. Not a single human ship was seriously damaged. Admiral, Captain So Young. Lim reported, the base commander wants to surrender. Accept his surrender and send a message to every Vorthak base in the system. We're coming for all of them. News of the human victory spread through Vorthak space like wildfire. The mighty base at Korthval, which had never been defeated, had fallen in less than 20 minutes. War Commander Thexvor, who had set the original trap at Kepler Colony, finally understood that he had made a terrible mistake. In his command center on the Vorthak homeworld, he watched the reports with growing fear. Sir, his intelligence officer reported, the humans aren't just attacking our military. They're systematically destroying every slave camp, every prison, facility. They're freeing all prisoners, not just their own people. How many ships do they have? Over 200 confirmed, sir. And they're all more advanced than our best vessels. Thexvor had built his reputation on being ruthless and smart, but he had never faced an enemy like this. The humans fought with the discipline of professionals and the fury of people seeking justice. Sir, another officer called out, we're receiving a message from the human fleet. The main screen lit up with Admiral Kang's face. Behind him, Thexvor could see the bridge of a ship more advanced than anything in the Vorthak fleet. War Commander Thexvor, Admiral Kang said, his voice calm but deadly. You remember me, don't you? I'm the species you called weak, the people you thought you could murder without consequences. Thexvor tried to sound confident. Human, you may have won one battle, but the Vorthak Empire has thousands of ships. You cannot fight us all. Admiral Kang smiled, but it was not a kind smile. War Commander, you still don't understand. We're not here to fight your empire. We're here to end it. The communication ended. Over the next 3 months, the human fleet moved through Vorthak space like an unstoppable force. They hit 27 military bases, captured 43 planets, and freed over 200,000 slaves of various species. But they were never cruel. Every victory followed the same pattern: overwhelming force, quick surrender, fair treatment of prisoners. The humans fought like demons, but they treated defeated enemies according to galactic law. Rescue coordinator Byung-ho Yang worked with Jin-A's boarding teams to locate every human prisoner. They found groups of colonists on mining planets, prison worlds, and slave markets. Every single person was rescued. Admiral, Byung-ho reported after the rescue of a slave convoy, we've now recovered 39,000 of our people. We're still missing about 1,000. We'll find them all, Admiral Kang promised. But the most important battle was still ahead. The Vorthak Empire had gathered their remaining fleet, over 300 ships, for a final battle near there. Homeworld Strategic Coordinator Minji Seo studied the enemy positions. Admiral, they're using their entire remaining fleet. Everything they have left. Good, Admiral Kang replied. We'll finish this in one battle. Commander Tae-ho Kim looked at the tactical display showing hundreds of enemy ships. Admiral, they outnumber us. Are you sure about this? Admiral Kang looked around his bridge at the officers who had spent 6 months preparing for this moment. These people had lost friends at Kepler Colony. They had trained and fought to honor those deaths. Commander, Tae-ho, 6 months ago they ambushed our rescue ships because they thought compassion was weakness. Today they're going to learn that mercy is a choice, not a limitation. He opened communications to the entire human fleet. All ships, this is Admiral Kang. Today we finish what the Vorthak started at Kepler Colony. We fight not for conquest, but for justice. We fight for Captain Minho Lee and the crew of the Guardian. We fight for pilot Hyejin Ko and the 800 civilians who died in her transport. We fight for every person who trusted Earth to protect them. The fleet moved forward in perfect formation. Remember, Admiral Kang continued, we are not here to become like them. We are here to show the galaxy that evil actions have consequences. Today, the Vorthak Empire learns that attacking innocent people was the worst mistake they ever made. The final battle was about to begin. The final battle lasted 4 hours and changed the galaxy forever. The Vorthak Empire threw everything they had at the human fleet, 312 warships, their best commanders, and weapons they had been saving for decades. War Commander. Thexvor personally led the attack, determined to destroy the humans who had humiliated his empire. But the humans fought like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Fleet Admiral Dong-Hyun Kang commanded the battle from the Retribution, while his officers coordinated attacks with precision that seemed impossible. Every human ship knew exactly where to be and when to fire. Tactical, focus fire on their command ship, Admiral Kang ordered. End this war by removing their leadership, Tactical Officer Sang-min. O directed the fleet's weapons toward Thexavor's massive flagship. The war commander who had laughed while murdering rescue workers was about to face justice. Commander Tae-ho Kim led his strike group in a direct assault on the enemy flagship. "This is for the Guardian," he said as his ships opened fire. The battle was one-sided. The Vorthak fought bravely, but human ships were simply superior in every way. Faster engines, stronger shields, better weapons, and most importantly, better coordination. Strategic coordinator Minji Seo had spent 6 months studying Vorthak tactics. She knew how they would attack before they did it. "Admiral, they're trying to surround us on the left flank. Strike Group 4, move to intercept." "Strike Group 4 moving," came the immediate response. Within 2 hours, half the Vorthak fleet was destroyed or surrendered. The remaining ships tried to retreat, but the humans had surrounded them completely. War Commander Thexavor's flagship was crippled and burning. Boarding specialist Jin Ai-yoon led her teams onto the ship to capture the enemy commander. They found him on his bridge, surrounded by the bodies of his officers who had died fighting. Thexavor himself was wounded but still alive. "Human," he said as Jin's soldiers secured him, "you think you have won, but this will not end here. The galaxy has many species who fear your strength now." Jinny looked at the alien who had murdered so many innocent people. "War Commander, the galaxy doesn't have anything to fear from us. We're still the same people who run rescue missions. But now everyone knows what happens to those who attack our rescuers." 3 days later, Admiral Kang stood on the steps of the former Vorthak Imperial Palace, on their homeworld. The building had been turned into a temporary headquarters for the human occupation forces. War Commander Thexavor was brought before him in chains along with the other surviving Vorthak leaders. "War Commander," Admiral Kang said, "you are charged with war crimes against civilian targets, illegal enslavement of prisoners, and attacking clearly marked rescue vessels. How do you answer?" Thexavor raised his head defiantly. "I answer that. Might makes right, human. You have defeated us, so you may do what you wish." "Wrong," Admiral Kang replied. "Might without justice is just tyranny. You will be tried according to galactic law, and if found guilty, you will be punished according to galactic law. Earth does not believe in revenge. We believe in justice." Meanwhile, across the former Vorthak Empire, human rescue teams were freeing hundreds of thousands of slaves from dozens of different species. Rescue Coordinator Byung-ho Yang coordinated the largest humanitarian mission in galactic history. "Admiral," he reported, "we've found the last group of our people. All 40,000 Kepler colony survivors are now accounted for. But we've also found over 300,000 slaves from other species. Free them all," Admiral Kang ordered, "and help them get home." The rescued colonists were taken to medical ships where Dr. Yoon-bi Park, now promoted to Chief Medical Director, oversaw their treatment. Many were sick and traumatized, but they were alive. Mayor Jin-soo Park, who had been enslaved for 6 months, met with Dr. Yoon-bi on the hospital ship. "Doctor," he said, tears in his eyes, "when we were captured, we thought Earth had forgotten us. We never imagined you would come back with a fleet this powerful." Dr. Yoon-bi smiled sadly. "Mayor, Earth never forgets its people. But more importantly, we learned something from this tragedy. Being peaceful doesn't mean being helpless." Back on Earth, President Nara Song addressed the United Earth government and the galaxy once again. "The war with the Vorthak Empire is over," she announced. "Justice has been served. The criminals who attacked our rescue ships have been captured and will face trial. The innocent people they enslaved have been freed." She paused, looking directly into the camera. "But this war has taught us an important lesson. For 50 years, Earth has sent rescue ships throughout the galaxy, saving lives and asking for nothing in return. We did this because we believed that showing kindness would make the galaxy a better place. Behind her, the screen showed images of the human fleet returning home, escorting ships full of freed slaves. The Vorthak Empire attacked us because they saw our kindness as weakness. They were wrong. Kindness is not weakness, it is a choice. And sometimes to protect the innocent, the kind must also be strong. The broadcast showed new Earth policies being announced. Ambassador Aaron Park stepped forward to speak to the diplomatic community. From this day forward, Earth's rescue missions will continue as before. We will still risk our lives to save strangers. We will still send medical aid to disaster zones. We will still be the galaxy's emergency responders. She looked around at the alien diplomats. But any species that attacks our rescue operations, any government that targets our medical ships, any military that harms civilians under our protection, will face the full military might of Earth. We have shown that we can fight when we must. We prefer not to, but we can. The message was clear to everyone in the galaxy. Earth was still the helpful, peaceful species they had always known. But now everyone understood that this peace came from choice, not weakness. 6 months after the war ended, the former Vorthak homeworld had been transformed. Director of Reconstruction Junho Yoon had overseen the conversion of military bases into hospitals and schools. The planet was now called Haven, and it served as a symbol of how Earth dealt with defeated enemies. We don't destroy the people who fight us, Junho explained to a group of galactic journalists. We help them build something better. Former Vorthak soldiers were retrained as construction workers and farmers. Their children attended schools where they learned about galactic law and peaceful cooperation. The species that had once been the galaxy's greatest threat was becoming productive members of the galactic community. Historical Archive Director Hai Wan No established a museum on Haven that told the complete story of the war. The centerpiece was a memorial to the 1-200 humans who had died in the original ambush, including Captain Minho Lee and pilot Hyejin Ko. We remember our dead, she told visitors, not to keep hatred alive, but to ensure this never happens again. Memorial Coordinator In-Soo Kim worked with families throughout human space to honor those who had died. Every rescue ship now carried a plaque listing the names of the Kepler colony victims. The galaxy's perception of humanity had changed completely. Species that once saw humans as naive idealists now understood they were looking at something much more complex, a people capable of both infinite compassion and terrible justice. The Corvani ambassador spoke for many when she addressed the Galactic Council. Humans are the only species we know who will die to save strangers and kill to avenge friends. They are not saints or devils. They are something more dangerous. They are people with principles. Fleet Admiral Dong Hyun Kang established new human military doctrines that balanced Earth's humanitarian mission with the need for security. Peace. Corps Director Sarah Moon expanded rescue operations throughout the galaxy, but now every rescue ship traveled with discreet military escorts. The human military remained strong and visible, but it was used primarily to protect humanitarian missions and maintain peace. Other species learned that attacking Earth's mercy missions was the fastest way to face Earth's wrath. Commander Tae-ho Kim, now promoted to Admiral, stood on the bridge of the new rescue ship Redemption as it responded to a distress call from a mining accident in the Outer Rim. The ship was bigger and better equipped than the old Resilience, and it carried enough defensive weapons to protect itself and its charges. Admiral, called his communications officer, we're receiving the distress signal. 1,700 miners trapped by a cave-in. No hostile forces in the area. Take us in, Admiral Tae-ho ordered. Earth doesn't abandon people in need, as the Redemption jumped to hyperspace, heading toward another rescue mission. The galaxy watched with a new understanding. Earth was still the same species that had always rushed to help others in their darkest hours. But now everyone knew that anyone who tried to stop them, anyone who attacked their healers, anyone who harmed the innocent people they protected, would face consequences that would echo across the stars. The attack on Earth's rescue fleet had triggered human fury. That fury had reshaped the galaxy. And now, finally, there was peace, protected by the knowledge that Earth's mercy was backed by Earth's might. In the words carved into the memorial on Haven, "They attacked our rescuers, so we taught the galaxy that mercy protected by strength is the only mercy that lasts." The galaxy had learned to respect both sides of humanity's nature, and the stars were safer for it.